Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, 23 Flavors of Stitching. My name is Kirsten and today is going to be a Flosstube video. This is going to be my October recap, I guess. There was not a lot of stitching done in October, unfortunately. But that's okay. It's, I don't know, I get on a kick where after I lose my stitchy bug for a certain amount of time and I stitch like every day for a week, every day for 2 weeks, and then it is gone again. So, I was really excited to get started stitching, and then on one of my fall Halloween projects, and then I was doing some counting and figured out that I was off somewhere when I put it down 2 years ago, I think. And so because of that, I put it away and I didn't touch my stitching again, really. So I believe that I have only worked on, let's see, okay, I have only worked on 3 projects since my last video on October 1st, and I haven't done very much on any of them. I know that we still have, today's the 27th, so we have 4 days left, well, 3 days left of October, and I don't see myself doing a ton of stitching in the next few days. I might do a little bit, but this is really what I got done this month, so I figured I would share it with you. So first up is Sugar Skull by Tiny Modernist. I think my iPad's dead, so I don't have a picture to show of the cover photo, but I started working on the red in this eye, and then I also brought some of the white down, and I think I also finished some X's of the white. So that's what I did. A very small amount of progress, but it's okay. Next up is Halloween Quaker, and this is the one that I discovered I was off, and so I put it away. I did upload it to Pattern Keeper. It is not, because it has overdyed threads, it's not a perfect system, but I just put the DMC colors into the key, and then I have a key with me that tells me which symbol is what color. So this is Halloween Quaker by Leela's Studio. And I messed up, I believe, somewhere in the moon, and so her hat, instead of being 9 stitches above it, it's only 7 in mine. Anyway, I am stitching it on, oh crap, what am I stitching it on? On Seraphim Fabrics Haunted 18 count Aida. and this is where I'm at. So I crossed some X's and then I brought the hat up. That's where we're at. I would really like to get further on this. Maybe I can focus just on finishing some of the crosses. Just because I think it's something about being in the all black. I need to like move around. So now that I have some of the X's finished, I can go do a few motifs that aren't black that might help me kind of feel the love on this pattern. And I'm doing like a half and half of doing the classic color works that are called for, and then I'm also doing 2 weeks dye works and 2 Forbidden Fiber Co. Substitutions for the classic color works. So, but I tried to stay pretty true to what was called for. Okay, and then last, but certainly not least, is on the needle. Oop. Sharks and Minnows by Forbidden Fiber Co. It is their Yellowstone pattern from their Yellowstone box. I'm stitching it on the called for 16 count Palomino that they dyed for the box, and I'm using the called for colors, and I did more of the charcoal gray that makes up Rip in this pattern. So yeah. And I tried stitching inside the hoop for this time. I feel like it doesn't really make a big difference for me as far as like how I'm comfortable stitching, but I think I'm gonna keep trying to do it like this and kind of see if that makes a difference for me. I feel like I have to stitch on it for longer than a day to see if I'll like it, but that is it for my stitching. I really did not get very much done, and it kind of makes me a little sad when I'm not able to get as much done. I sat on my phone a lot. I wasn't even reading. I sat on my phone playing games a lot. There was a day that sorry if you heard all that. I went through all of my whips, and there are a few that I am UFOing, so we can talk about that. And if you're new, UFO is an unfinished object, and whenever I think about pulling these out, I immediately change my mind. And so when that ends up happening, I feel like then it's just time to kind of get rid of the project. So here's what I have decided to UFO. And I don't think I've talked about this one yet. So I have decided to UFO the Heartfelt Stitch Along. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to pick this out just in case I do want to pick it up. And I'm leaving the thread in the thread pack. But for right now, I am not going to be keeping it in a bag, and it's just gonna go away for now. Another one that I have decided to UFO is double check. Was I have a degree. I was working on that, but the colors on it were blue and yellow. Let me grab that real quick. It's just right here. So the colors are blue and yellow, and it just isn't speaking to me, and I worked on it more, but I've worked on it this year, which is why it's kind of hard for me to UFO it, but like I got some of the flowers done. Anyway, the colors just aren't really my thing, and that's okay. I have a different idea for this pattern, so I think I'm going to restart it. I'm going to scrap this piece of fabric because the weave on it is not very good anyway, and I have other fabric that I can use, but I am also UFOing Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers, and I started working on Pandemic because I was finishing college during the pandemic, and so I was like, oh, I could do it in a variation of greens. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but it just doesn't speak to me. So what I've decided to do is, instead of continuing Pandemic in a variation of greens, which was my school's main color, I am going to pick a couple of greens and maybe try and find a pattern similar to this, or find this pattern, or restart this pattern in the colors of my school, which the colors were really just green and white, but silver was an accent, so maybe I'll do like a light gray, like maybe like 03 or 04 or something. Anyway, so that's my plan. So those two things have been officially UFO'd, or I guess three things. I'm really in the if it's not serving me, getting rid of it mode. Part of that, I think, is because we are transitioning the office. We are moving it to the small room that my daughter is in right now, the nursery, and we are going to move her into this bigger room. She is going to be getting a big girl bed and just a bigger mattress. Sometimes she has a rough time going to bed for me, and so I have to lay next to her for a little bit, and it would just be easier to do that in her own bed. So we're gonna do that for her. And so I am going to be packing up some of this stuff and getting it ready to be moved. And so I think in that thought process, I'm also thinking of projects that aren't serving me anymore, and maybe putting them aside for now, and just keeping ones that I love out, because I know that some of this storage that's behind where my phone is right now, behind you guys, some of that is gonna have to be downsized, and so I'm trying really hard to make sure that the things that I'm working on are still serving me. So I am so excited to get into my holiday stitching. At this point, I'm kind of like, why am I waiting? I really want to work on my mini enchanted reindeer. I really want to work on Praiseworthy Stitches, Simple Gifts Christmas, and I just am really excited to get working on some of those. One project that is going to be that might be finished. I have to re-look at the Little Women pattern, see what's on the left side. It's not their house, but I need to look at what's on the left side, and then I'm just going to cut that pattern down and only do the top portion, just because I also don't really want to work on that. 14 count doesn't really call to me anymore, and that pattern is on 14 count. It's one of the very first patterns I ever did within like my first year of stitching, and so I did it on 14 count, and it's beautiful. I love it, but it just isn't for me anymore, so I would really like to get that done. And yeah, I really want to get stitching to be my main hobby again. I've been making cards and I've been loving it. I've been loving having something to do with my mom, something to do with friends, and all that. And so but I really want to get some stitching done again. So sorry for my ramble. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like, leave a comment. Let me know if you like the monthly recaps. I think that the monthly recaps are going to be a lot better for me just in this phase of life, so I hope you all will enjoy them as well. And yeah, so I will see you next time. I hope you remember that someone always needs you.